Okay. Service mapping. Service mapping, first of all, if you go for the home page of service mapping, you see that it has a lot of services. So first of all, you have to map your services. If you map any of your services, it will become under the column called candidates. And if you have any issues, it will become under fixes. If there are already services but needs to approve, in the sense it will come over here. Once you approve only, it will be considered as an service maps. For example, if I click on approve your services, see, you have to send a review to the service owners. If the owners approve it, then you can add, then it will be considered as the service maps. First of all, if you click on additional option, you can add a single service, or you can view the candidate list, import service map list. Okay, already if you have a list, in a sense, you can import it, gathering services, gathering data, or finish questionnaire. These two things I will explain you later. Up to this, we can see, for example, first if I come to single, define a single business services, in a sense, you will be getting this. You have to give the basic name of the particular service, what you're going to define, or what you're going to discover through over here. Give this one as Windows. Owner can be able to or someone. And then I'm going to save this. Once I save this one, I'm just getting some basic things over here, but still I have to add some entry points to it. Okay. Entry points or something like through which services you're going to add the application service, business service, or technical service to it. So click on web apps, then I have to, I have two types of things to do. One, I have to give the URL and then I have to add. Otherwise, sorry. Otherwise, I can try all these things, okay? Through Microsoft, but these are some of the application service, okay? That is available in the system. Otherwise, I have to go for the generic application. Here, I have to give the host name and the port number to it. Okay, host name and the port number to it. For example, yesterday we were trying to run the discovery, but due to the credential issue, we can't run the discovery actually. But basically, if that could complete in a sense, you can give your IP address as the host name and some of the TCP entries as a port number. So in that port number only, our application has been got mapped. So in that case, you can able to find a particular application that is running in that port number or port services. Here, we choose web apps, okay? Without running the discovery, I can't find this one. I'm just showing you. Here you have to give this one as HTTPS address only, okay? HTTPS address. Here you can even serve your IP addresses over here. Mostly your IP addresses / port number. This will be working as the URL over here. Okay. So once you complete this one, then only you have to go with the rest of the things. So this is how we have to start with our service mapping. Now, just give me a minute. Okay. Now let me share my screen for a moment. I think you can view my screen. These are my like real-time service now service mapping things. Okay. This is one thing called train sheets. This is from one of the application. If I open it up in a sense. So my entry point over here is http train sheets dot some URL they have given to. Once I put this as an entry point, okay, I will be getting this kind of applications that is running within it. Can you see this? So like this, I have multiple other stuffs also to be shown. For example, if I go for sheets again, and I try to this one, ties prod. For ties prod, my entry point is this one. Okay, and my map will be shown like this. So with the code file SCV, other my MySQL servers is also mapped with it. So how the organization, this picture I have to put it up, okay? They will give only this entry point alone. Once I put the entry point, I have to, first of all, with this IP address, I have to run the discovery. Then I have to put this entry point and I have to check for this. This one, I will be getting an as an answer. For each and everything, I have put the screenshot. So what I actually discovered it. But can you check here in this door, it is totally 21 server out there. Here it is 14 out there. That is this number resemblance actually. If I open CIA, see this is my entry point. And these are my services within it. Like this only it will be get discovered within the system. Are you able to follow me, guys? For this, I have two entry points. See? So I have to put two entry points. First, I have to create one entry point. For example, first I have to create one entry point. Then I have to create another entry point in the same map itself. So this is coming from one of the entry point, and this is coming from another entry point. But both sits in a single mid-tier only. So the same owner only it is coming from.
Oh, Prasi, actually, what is the use of service mapping, Prasi? So how it's like a hierarchy level, it will work in this area.
Okay. What happened in the sense, this thing what you see over here, no? These are your Windows server or Linux server kind of stuff, okay? Within it, it is telling you there is an AM instance running up. It is connected to your Apache web server. That Apache web server is connected to some other WebEx channel or some of the web spheres it just got connected. that WebSphere connected with this IDPQ connection and some of the email servers and some other database instances. So what are the devices or what are the applications, what are the technical service that your server, that your particular IP address get connected, those things will be found over here.
Okay.
Now, if you see here, it is a train sheets. Okay. Within this IP address, we have another service called train sheets. I showed you for the train sheets, we just have a separate services, these much of services for train sheets. So that application service got mapped to this application service. So in your organization, you may find your hardwares and your softwares, but still to map to what type of services it is getting related. For example, you have Microsoft license installed in it, but we don't know whether you are using SharePoint, Excel, Outlook. These are services that particular product is providing to you. Correct?
Yes.
So that services and all, this service mapping will be mapped to you.
Okay. So for that, we need to connect any cloud services like AM or something.
Huh?
Or in previous sheet, I can see that we have connected to AM, IAM, AM in the training sheet, Prasi.
This one?
Previous one. It was zoomed out. Yeah, in this first it is connected to AM. Later it is connected to Apache server. Then it hierarchy goes like that.
It will be shown, yeah.
So
See, in your system, you are using ServiceNow. It's not an installed software, right? But how do you know that it was connected in your system? How
so
can you find that your system is using this particular service now?
after discovering only we'll come to know.
After discovery and after having that particular service in place, then only we may know. Our entry point over here is our ServiceNow IP, sorry, what is that? HTTPS address.
Yes.
Then I can find what are the system that is using my ServiceNow. What are the other things that is connected to my ServiceNow? Like that, I have to find it.
Pasi, one small doubt here. See,
Yeah.
what all services we are getting connected from now, external, I can see the arrows, right? I assume that all of them, they're CA items, right, already?
Yes, yes.
Okay. That is a primary one-time setup. We do it in the system. And after that, this sort of discovery will happen, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got it. And one more thing, what I want to know from you is service mapping. Say, for example, I have incidents coming from two different sources, or a CIDB setup, CI coming from three sources, say, for example, three different sources. The sequencing, all of them are connected to the, because I do not know which server can bring which data, right? There are three sources, that sequencing and all that management of the those three connections to the ServiceNow is managed through service mapping, you mean to say?
No. See, whatever you bring into the system, that thing will be taken care by this IR engine itself. Service mapping is something like you have to see, you don't bring anything through different services. Only discovery you can run like that. Service mapping, you can't do like that.
Okay.
Service mapping, you have to run it manually.
Okay. So what is the objective of service mapping? Say high level, if you want to tell.
Okay, so this business service, technical service, or application service cannot be discovered in discovery at first.
Okay.
it can be discovered only by this service mapping.
Okay,
We
got it.
can have this Linux server, Windows server, Apache web server,
but
we don't have this email servers, email services. What are the technical services that this particular one provide? What are the business services that this particular one provide? We don't have those information. So business services directly maps to the APM and all, CSDM process and all. So our mapped application services will not work in the discovery.
So these services, you mean to say that they cannot be discovered? That's the reason why we have service mapping in place, correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. It's clear now. Thank you.
So now Uday, Jagdish, you can share the screen.
Prasi, can we get documents relevant to this? Because it's a manual one, that's why.
Yes, yes. Sorry, I lost my mobile. That's the reason I can't access other drives.
Yes, Prasi. It's it.
Okay. Now, can you go to your Amazon EC2 console?
One second.
Balram, did you share that information? Okay, thanks.
Deepa, I shared in WhatsApp. Can you please visit it?
Yeah. So,
It's there in downloads, Prasi. I'll open it.
leave it, leave it. I don't want to go to the instance.
Sure. Yeah. You can minimize it.
Yeah, I send you one Word document for service mapping, right? Do you have that?
Actually, I don't have that, Prasi.
You won't have actually. This is not the one what I shared, I think so. You bought it, this document from somewhere else.
Yes, Deepa. Actually, even in my documents are not made. I check everywhere. So I have gotten only for event management, event integration was there. Service mapping is not there. So that's why I shared the separate document for you.
This is by some other way.
Yeah, some other. I bought some person to describe for this.
Okay, that helps people. Can you open this IP address in your thing, Jagdish? I send it in the chat. Okay. Endpoints. Okay, I'm going to create one endpoint. Even though I can choose EC2 instance connect one to share it, or I could choose other endpoint services. Okay. Just put it as now EC2. Okay. My endpoint is going to be like my Windows. Additional security group. You have to select a subnet for this one. Create endpoint. Manage tags. View details. Thing is here. Going to endpoint services. Create endpoint services. It can be a network or a load balance service for a particular endpoint. This is a different one, okay? So these are like, for example, in the service mapping also, we have tag-based discovery. For that purpose only, I'm showing you like how you have to create this endpoint and how you have to load along with your endpoints. So VPC only, we will be creating those endpoints and endpoint services from here. Now, if I go for your endpoints, I created one, right? Where was it actually? Instance connected endpoints. I created one. Let me create one endpoint itself. Another one I'm creating like find services shared with you by service name. My services. Service name could not be verified. So why I am doing this one in a sense, for example, every HTTPS address or whatever you do, it will be found from this over from here only actually. So how we have that HTTPS endpoint, I don't know. Here only these people used to create those endpoints. You're trying to get my point? Are you trying to get my point, guys?
Yes, Prasi. Yeah.
You have to create some endpoints or create some other devices or applications that is attached to it or as an endpoints. So that endpoints will be coming into a picture. Now I'm creating some services. It will be showing all the things that needs to be created. So first of all, I have to give the routing, create network association, review and create to create the VPC lattice services. Okay. So which group and which target it has to define, name of your service and define access and monitoring, create network association. First of all, in our service mapping thing, in your normal CAS, we have some practical sessions about, right? There we used to have one application service only, and that application service name is called Ruby on Rails. Okay. So that you will be creating an application discovery service. We are in oh my gosh. Before going on to that, I will like to explain you something. I will search for my document also. Okay. Before that, can you open that PDF actually?
Yes, Prasi.
So For example, in the service mapping, the first three roles are like service mapping admin, owner, and service mapping user. Okay. So this admin used to set up the service mapping, discovery services and bulk create or update tags, fix errors, and send individual services for review. Service owners are responsible to approve and review the services. So whatever we discover through service mapping, so the pictures I showed that we have to discover for them. But this service owners will approve it actually. Yes, these and all my services and these and all my devices. Yes, this is correct only like this. These people has to review and approve it, and service mapping users will view and analyze your service mapping stuff. And here, as I said you earlier, you have to go to your service mapping credential or Windows credential, whatever it is. You have to, before that, you have to apply your discovery and discover the stuffs. Then only service mapping will be working for you. Okay. One more thing, I'm not sure where in this document it has been present. So discovery patterns. For patterns, we will be having identification section, right? For the discovery. But for service mapping, we will be having the exploration section and connection section to be working from the system. For example, if I tell you like patterns. You see for the patterns in the sense, why it is opening in this way actually? Why it is not opening in a synchronous way actually? I mean in the UI designer way.
Actually, Windows will open plus remaining and all it's coming like that only.
Here we have this extension sections and all, right? So this extension section and the exploration or the connection sections will be working only for the service mapping. If you have any other devices for sure, or any other CIs for sure, like Apache or something else, then you can add that section as an extension section from the any of your patterns. Okay, and you have the order to execute it. First you can select one, next you can select one. Like this, you have an order to select it up. Just give me a minute. Sorry, guys. So the four main key, as he said, like mid-server, pattern, discovery deduction from the host. Detect your host, an identification reconciliation engine. It will understand the top-down discovery. This is mainly for our, like what? To understand our business things, like how many business services or technical services get connected to our system and how you're going to take it. For example, the business users consume software services like email, customers portal, fund transfer, payroll system, inventory, business analyst. So these kind of things will not be get captured in the discovery like this. So this is the gap. Which IT component delivers this service? Email service. Which IT components deliver this service? The fund transfer service is down. Which IT component caused it? Which service are affected by this failure? Will my change have business impact on which service? So we can discover all these things through discovery, but we don't. These are the services from this server or from this application it is providing, but we don't know how this will be get connected. In that phase only the service mapping comes up, and these are the gaps that this particular IT management can solve for the business users. This thing, we have our data centers like data center 1, 2, 3, north, south, east. From everywhere you have one mid server. See, that mid server will bring all the data in the form of service mapping only. So multiple data centers into one will be get connected to our service mapping easily through our mid servers. So in order to create the entry points, okay, SSH, SNMP, Windows, VMware Center, CIM, applicative credential. For everything, we used to use some used to discover Unix device, support for SSH password and support key. So in order to find any kind of these devices, these are the credential setup or authentication setup we need before doing the service mapping actually. So the service mapping needs credential. Customer provides or credentialless discovery. First, it needs to done. Then the entry points, individual or in bulk entry points you can do. And baseline CI types and discovery pattern to discover common enterprise applications and their connections. So usually it will be finding, okay, continuous collection of traffic-based collection information like new application dependency mapping probe. Once you find once in the exploration phase, ADM probes and all, it is working right. From that application, it will find like what are the services that is connected to that application. So this is what it will do. So from the network, it will try to find out that customer portal services, whether this particular server is hosting it up. So all this information will be found by using this map services within the system. So the entry points can be a TCP port, a URL, or a SQL port. All these serves as an entry point as a service. I showed you right some TCP ports and some URLs also. and some SQL codes will also be considered as an entry points over here. So in your current project, your organization people or your client may ask, in what type I have to provide you the entry points. You have to give this one only actually. These are our entry points that what ServiceNow service mapping will accept it. These questions definitely they will be asking. Just keep an eye on it. That's it. And after that, for example, they given one entry point over here. Define a top level application that compromises service, that comprise services. This is one of the service. See HTTPS address along with the host number. Not host number, this is a port number. HTTPS port number. Both together only will come as an URL to a service. So you can add a CSV file or you can add a manual entry like how we started our manual entry. So in that way only we can do this manual entry. I already explained you about the map, fix, approve and completed state of a particular one. This 4 items, what it will do. Next, they are trying to explain about this services offering data. So here, if you go to your home page, you can see all these particular one. Here in your home page, if you select service mapping home, you will be having some predefined filter dashboards and query criteria pages and all. Here, if you see, service mapping started with the data gathering and our discovered one. Only those service status or service type has to be shown. So like this, we will be having some gathering data filters. From that, you were gathering services, gathering data filters you can use to show or pop up the screen over here. Data gathering finished questionnaires are all coming from here actually. So once you have your this your questionnaire or here, okay? This questionnaire is only the review people will be reviewing. Okay, your service owner will review this question and review the service, and then only they will be giving those approval for us. So those are called as data gathering finished questionnaire in progress. So these are our process or states of service mapping. These are our home page queries, how to build our queries within our home page. So once the entry point for the service is defined, service mapping will automatically discover the application host connection property and what type of CI type, class name, version. All these things it will be automatically fine, and this will be displayed in the nearby section itself. For example, in our computer, if I install this Microsoft IIS server, for example, okay. To install this. So this is one of the server-side web application framework, Ruby on Rails. Okay. You can download this one. Okay. Or you can download any other. See. Jagdish, while coming up to next class, try to download this, what's that? Microsoft IAS server or any other kind of pop-up or devices, any other application within your service, within the system. You can
Sure,
able to
Pras.
cover that using our service mapping from your ADM. Once the ADM finds this application, and we can find what type of service this application goes to us. Try to download any one of the application.
Sure.
So Prasi, I have one doubt here. So ideally, so discovery, we are identifying the components, and in service mapping in detail and depth, we are identifying the components and the relationship between the services and how the impact will be. And so I have one doubt here. So in one of my projects, while creating an incident, right? So in the business services, when you enter the impacted services, it's automatically populating the service owner, business owner, and what are all the services that's getting impacted. So ideally, those details are getting fetched from service mapping only, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to install this one itself, okay?
Yeah, sure, Pras. 2010 Windows.
No, wait.
Okay.
Or you have to install this one in the sense. So click on Windows and Windows 10 in the sense. Below you have to open your command prompt. Okay.
Yeah.
This is called open and run Windows 11. Windows subsystem for Linux. No, don't do this one. Open PowerShell and run. Okay. Open this one and try to run this code. Step by step, it has given something. See? Copy and paste this one and try to run this one.
Sure, Pras. Yeah.
It will automatically install that one.
Okay.
Once we install this one, see. Once you click on this, you can be able to see your stuff. So to create a database, see, database they are trying to create as Rails services and all. So follow the steps and create one Ruby on Rails over here. We can fix this credential issue. Once again, we run the discovery. After that, we are going to give this IP address over there, and we can find our service mapping within our service mapping itself. Okay.
Sure,
This
Pras.
to be, first of all, it has to be shown in the generic application because we don't have a Ruby on Rails as a separate table. Every application can have a separate table. Okay.
Okay.
So then we have to create one custom table for this one. Ruby on Rails. We have to create those attributes, values, and everything. IRE engine stuffs and all we have to complete. Then we have to run a pattern for this one.
Okay.
So just install this by step how it actually tells you. I'm just bookmarking it.
Sure.
So, and then we can see like next session how to discover this one and how to create a table and page and how you have to do that.
Yes, Prasi.
Tomorrow morning, same time, Jagdish, just connect with me. We can solve this credential issue.
Yeah, sure, Prasi. Definitely.
Any guys, any questions up to this?
Prachi, you're sharing that document you showed, no? That,
I already put it in the chat.
oh, I did not see that. So next session will be on Monday. Huh? Today is Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
Monday.
Okay then.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Prasi.